Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. In today's video, we are diving deep into Bitcoin's short-term rally following a very bullish bit of news coming from President Donald Trump announcing the potential to sign an executive order to allow cryptocurrencies to be a part of the 401k retirement plans in the USA. This, of course, has resulted in a surge in Bitcoin's price action, pushing through that 115,000 resistance well into the $117,000 range, as well as breaking out of this 4-hourly downtrend spanning back since the 13th of July. With this, we have also seen the total altcoin market cap break through that $1 trillion mark, facilitating a nice rotation into altcoins as we start to see the total cryptocurrency market cap as well push back toward the upside into the weekly candle close. So all in all, the market has seen a fantastic move upwards with some very important levels breaking and very interesting news being released. In today's video, we will discuss absolutely everything from the short term to the macro to the targets to the key levels and even going over this recent news. Before we go ahead and get into it, make sure to smash that like button, hit that comment button and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos for Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, just pure, raw TA. If that is the kind of content you are interested in, you can also join us on Telegram. This is the first link down below. We post charts, updates, news events, educational posts, videos, and everything you need to stay in the loop for cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. And if you're interested in joining our VIP channel, you can do that by clicking the pinned comment of the free channel, contacting our admin by clicking this name, or checking out our trading track record, or even watching a 10-minute video showing you inside the channel. Go ahead and check it out and let's jump into the content. So as we can see, a very large move for Bitcoin, breaking through that $115,000 resistance, a point of resistance we were sitting underneath for just over 1 week. With that move toward the upside, we have seen significant surges in liquidations and of course volume, with volume up 31% at 297 billion, liquidations up 117%, sitting over 375 million. Moving over to the DXY, the DXY is still dropping slightly toward the downside, but still sitting above this weekly uptrend. Again, breaking below this diagonal uptrend will likely result in the continuation of this higher time frame downtrend, looking for 92 to 93, particularly if interest rates do drop. We will likely see this move sped up a bit. If we do see the DXY at any point get back above and close above that 100 point or that change of character level, that is when we are watching for upward continuations. Until then, the expectation is still going to be downward into 92 to 93. Moving over to the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is looking still very good, sitting above this 6,330 level. The most important level we are currently sitting above is going to be the 6,250 level, which is this horizontal base of support we came back down to retest just a few days ago. We also see the price action is sitting above the 50 EMA, indicating there is still a large degree of bullish volatility in this trend, and the buyers have still got control of this price action. We are expecting continuations to 6,500 and higher, provided this range low is able to hold this lower point of support. The lowest point there sitting at around 6,230. If we lose 6,230, that is when we expect corrections back to the break of structure and potentially even lower to the 200 moving average. So until we break 6,230, we are going to be remaining bullish with the current trend, expecting higher prices. Let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin. Like we said, we have a bunch to be taking a look at. The breakout of this 4-hourly downtrend, the ability for Bitcoin to continue higher is definitely there now, with the breakout as well on the daily RSI, signifying a positive momentum shift. We could also see the total altcoin market cap and cryptocurrency market cap is continuing upwards. But the big question is this rally going to sustain, or is it just a news-driven rally which will likely fall apart? This is something we'll also be taking a look at in the video today. So before we go ahead and get into our Bitcoin analysis, make sure to go ahead and sign up to BitGet, BitNix, and BingX with the exchange links down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume. And of course, if you're supporting me making this content on a daily basis and support yourself in your trading journey. So go ahead and check out the ad, check out the links, check out the exchanges, and we'll see you back in just a second. If you are looking for a new exchange or just want to support the channel, sign up to BitUnix with the link down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume, as well as access to a bonus reward center, and of course, all of the exclusive campaigns we run on this exchange. You'll also get access to BitUnix being a non-KYC exchange, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the globe without regulations. And most importantly, I only promote exchanges I trust and I use. As you can see, I trade on BitUnix very regularly, being the highest VIP level with over $500 million in trading volume for the last 30 days. And lastly, if you were interested in signing up to our other two exchanges, BingX or BitGet, you can also do that via the links down below. You as well will get the 15% trading fee discount and everything else that comes with it. Go ahead and sign up. Thank you for supporting. Let's jump back in. Okay team, let's go ahead and get right back into it. So let's talk about the recent news first and foremost, because this is actually very, very big. So this was yesterday night for us in Australia. Around about 12 hours ago, President Donald Trump announced to sign executive orders allowing cryptocurrency to be a part of your 401k retirement plans. This is kind of equivalent to superannuation here in Australia. Essentially, this will facilitate a large amount of liquidity to enter the cryptocurrency market. Now, of course, some superannuation funds in Australia, if you have a self-managed superannuation fund, for example, you can opt to have Bitcoin a part of that. But even if you're looking at Australia as an example, a very small percentage of the total 24 million superannuation accounts, I think it's around 600,000, are self-managed superannuation funds, which opens up a massive gap in the market there where, you know, cryptocurrency is not coming in to fulfill that potential role in these retirement plans and these retirement saving accounts. So when we're looking at 401k, I have to assume it is quite similar. We don't have too much exposure over here in terms of the $8.7 trillion of assets across the USA in the 401k. I would consider not too much of that is in Bitcoin currently, but this will kind of open up the floodgates to potentially allow that to begin to become a thing where people can start to allocate percentages of their 401k into cryptocurrency, most likely through ETFs, which of course will drive Bitcoin's price up. So the potential for more liquidity to come into the market here, particularly over the long term, is quite large. And even if we're just looking at 1% of the current 8.7 trillion, that is $87 billion worth of money coming into Bitcoin, which can push the price up a considerable amount. We're not looking like 250,000, but we could see 120 just from 1% rotations, 140 from 5%, 170 from 10%. But of course, this isn't going to happen overnight. So it is not wise to be looking at this and expecting immediate reactions in price, other than the immediate reactions that come from this being a news event and the hype that brings with it. So overall, this is very bullish on the macro for cryptocurrency. And we've talked about this many times way back in the day. You know, we're talking 2-3 years ago that eventually cryptocurrency will be part of superannuation and will be part of 401k, and we're starting to see the ball rolling on that now. So it's good to see for the cryptocurrency space, and of course, with such bullish news, we do see a bullish reaction. So with that news, Bitcoin did break through this $115,000 level of resistance, which is obviously a good thing, right? We were able to sustain above this daily uptrend. Now, this daily uptrend is still going to be something we're watching, right? If at any point we do break below this daily uptrend, that will still be a bad sign. Just because we've broken above 115,000 doesn't mean automatically that this daily uptrend is irrelevant. The daily uptrend is still very much irrelevant. Is spanned back since the April point, of course, 74k, retest at 98,000, and we've been holding above ever since. If at any point we do break below this uptrend, it is likely a downtrend will start. But we're not going to focus on that right now. Let's talk about what is happening from a bullish perspective from Bitcoin. So we'll come to the macro charts and the total altcoin market cap in just a moment, but let's discuss this breakout. So the rally, of course, has resulted in a move back into the channel. If we're looking at our diagonal levels, we are looking good. If we're looking at our horizontal levels, we have flipped this point of resistance. We had support, we had resistance, we have flipped it back into support. So 115 to 115.6 is now going to be a level of support in which we need to sustain above. Provided we sustain above 115.6 to 115, the probabilities for a breakdown of this trend line is going to be lower than the chances of continuations back to 120. If we're looking at our diagonal levels, we have broken through this 4-hourly downtrend, which is a very good sign. And when we're looking at the daily chart here and we bring up the RSI, we can also see we have had a daily candle close plus a daily momentum shift occur on the RSI, which is a very good sign, signifying that the sellers have mostly been exhausted over here, facilitating a potential continuation upwards. There is one thing of concern, which is we are coming to retest the daily range low, which is sitting just where the price action is currently sitting, around 17,200, so 117,200, which may act as a potential sell-off point or a potential point where profit taking may take place. But again, provided we remain above 115,600, we were able to sustain the daily breakout on the RSI and downtrend, and we are able to see this price sustain through this downtrend, it is likely we see 120,000. If we're looking at the bigger picture, and we're asking, well, what will it take for Bitcoin to rally into brand new highs? It is still going to be the same point we talked about many weeks ago. If we're looking at the trend of this price action, we've still got these highs, these lower highs printing in the price action, lower highs, we still need to see the breakout of 120,000. Only the breakout of 120,000 will be confirmation that Bitcoin is continuing into 124, into 130, potentially into 140. If you're watching for the next major leg up for Bitcoin, that is when it is going to start. This is a fantastic sign. The breakout of 115 is a good sign as it decreases the immediate risk of the loss of this weekly uptrend and thus the correction. We have added essentially a buffer. We've added a new level of major support between us, where we are now, and of course that invalidation point for continuations downward. We've added this new level of support, but it doesn't necessarily confirm that we are going directly into new all-time highs. It does increase the potential for moves into 120, however. So that is going to be Bitcoin's price action analysis, guys. Again, when we're looking at the higher time frame, the key levels we are still going to be watching. That daily uptrend, we need to sustain above the daily uptrend. We need to break 120 for direct confirmation for macro continuations. If we're looking at the short-term price action, we have done some fantastic stuff. We have flipped this into a point of support, which adds, again, a buffer point, a safety net for if we do see these pullbacks. On the daily chart, we are rallying here into the daily range high. So we do have potentials for actual profit taking or corrections to develop here on the daily. Ideally, we do see the daily candle close occur above again this week, this daily downtrend, so the RSI remains positive. If we do see breakdowns here, we could see corrections back into 115. So there's obviously going to be a warning sign. We can also see that that POC level is sitting around 118, which is essentially the midline of this consolidation, the midline of that channel. Of course, breaking through that point, essentially just sustaining above this downtrend, will very likely facilitate moves into the range high. So what have we seen? We have seen a news-driven rally to break resistance, to flip it as support, and now we have seen a strong rally into a key daily range low, which is where we are going to most likely see some degree of sell-off and profit taking. The question is there going to be enough demand here to sustain the price above the RSI on the daily, on the daily here, and that downtrend on the daily? If so, we will see continuations to 120. If not, we could see short-term pullbacks to retest this point as support again. And again, if we lose that point of support, we then run the risk of that weekly uptrend being lost. So overall, very good to see some great news, some good recovery, not yet really enough to be really 100% confident in continuations higher, but a very good start to that potential continuation upwards. Moving over to the total cryptocurrency market cap. The total cryptocurrency market cap is looking solid, right? We've said this already. We've said all through the week. The total cryptocurrency market cap was looking good because we were able to remain positive on the RSI, and we were able to come back down to retest the weekly range high, and we were able to close above. So it comes back to the same points, guys. Provided these two things, the weekly range high here holds as support, and the RSI holds as support, the overall trend for cryptocurrency is still upwards, and still in control by the buyers. It is still bullish. The same being said in yesterday's video, provided the daily uptrend holds, weekly uptrend holds, no matter that we have seen a negative momentum shift on the RSI, that is just 1 out of 3 points of validation and not enough to confirm we are going lower. We talked about the analogy in yesterday's video that this was a warning sign. Essentially, you're driving in a car, you're getting up to a sharp turn, you see a warning sign for like a slippery road. It doesn't mean you're going to slip off the road and crash. It just means time to slow down, pay attention, have a bit more control just in case you lose control of the car. So that is essentially what was happening there. And the same thing is happening here with the total cryptocurrency market cap. We do have those warning signs, which is going to be the weekly breakdown of 3.63 trillion. And of course, the potential breakdown of the weekly RSI. But until those things happen, we are very much trending upwards and still going to have control by the buyers on the higher time frame. But when we're looking at triggers for next strong moves upwards, we need to break through the weekly high. So we break the weekly high, we see the next strong continuation upwards. That is going to be it for the total cryptocurrency market cap. I do want to go ahead and bring up the total altcoin market cap now. So let's jump over to altcoin market cap. We've said in yesterday's video that breaking 1 trillion is where we're going to start to see some significant rotations begin to occur back to altcoins. If we look at Bitcoin dominance, we have seen a nice strong red candle here on the dominance chart, suggesting in fact, we are seeing those rotations occur. Now, with that being said, some altcoins are up 10%, some altcoins are up 5%, some altcoins are up 15%. How any individual altcoins performs is very much going to be hard to predict. Again, as we know, this cycle hasn't been a cycle of consistent altcoin performance. It's been a cycle of sporadic and volatile and situational performance for altcoins, where we have a few altcoins performing exceptionally well, every other altcoin performing mediocre, some performing bad, and then we just see rotations occur. So again, when we're looking at the altcoin market, if we want to see the next major move up for altcoins, we need to break through 1.06. That is going to trigger major rotations. Above 1 trillion is very good and very bullish for the altcoin market, however, and we will start to see, which we already have seen some rotations begin to occur in the short term. But break 1.6 trillion, we see the next strong leg upwards. Break back below 1 trillion, we see corrections back down. So 1 trillion is now that trigger point and support. Now, there was one more level I wanted to discuss on the weekly, and that is going to be, let's just go ahead and delete everything really quickly. That is going to be something that actually one of the subscribers commented in yesterday's video to remind me of, and that is going to be the 62.09 on the RSI. And as you can see, the 62.09 on the RSI yet again has bounced absolutely perfectly. So as you would know, guys, when we're looking at weekly momentum, we're looking at weekly trigger points, the 62.09 has acted as both support, as we can see right over here, okay? It has acted as resistance, okay, as we can see over here, and it has acted as breakdown confirmations and breakup continuation confirmations. It has been a trigger point. If we look at every time we are broken down, instance over here, we generally see these larger corrections in the price action. Every time we break up, instance over here, we generally see these stronger continuations in the price action. Again, if we look back historically, there has been 11 instances since 2014 where we have broken from the top side down. And I think 9, yeah, it was 9 of them was the last one failed. 9 out of 11 have resulted in corrections toward the downside, 10% or larger. So we can see already we are holding above the 62.09, which is a good sign, again, that although there are warning signs present, it's not enough to confirm we're going to see corrections. But again, it is another warning sign that is something we need to watch, because if we do lose a 62.09, it is likely we do see these steeper corrections. So until then, expect the best. Of course, pray for the best, should I say. Hope that we do sustain here. We still need to see 120 break to see continuations, but it's a very good start. Thanks for tuning in. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll catch you all on Saturday. Bye. See you then.